Hey y'all, Stephanie with Minimalist Mom Life. Welcome back to my channel and thanks so much for joining me today. So I am doing another video that is part of my frequently asked questions series. The first one was kind of my minimalism journey. Was I always a minimalist and why? So that is my last video, and this next one is on contentment. So going right along with minimalism, I talk about having a heart of contentment a lot. And so I got a question, and I get this a lot kind of about contentment, and I thought I'm going to make this its own video because, again, I think I could go on and on about this, and maybe I'll do more videos in the future about contentment. But I'm going to read the question verbatim, the one that really made me think, okay, I've got to do a video on this, so that you kind of know where I'm coming from in answering it. And like I say in all of my videos, this is going to be just me chatting with you, very conversation-like, so feel free to chime in the comments down below on how you work towards having a heart of contentment. I am a believer, I am a Christian, and so I come at it from that perspective. If that's not where you're at, I hope you enjoy this video, and if you don't, that's okay too. So this is a question. She says, I love when you talk about cultivating a heart of contentment, but this has not come easy to me. What are some practical ways you work on that? If it wasn't always easier for you, how did it get easier? How do you see lovely things, places, things other people do and not think, I want that? So my first tip for that question is going to be, and this person I believe is a Christian, is that you're going to pray for contentment. You're going to ask God to give you a heart that sees what you already have and is grateful, and a heart that sees that life on earth is temporary and that our ultimate goal has nothing to do with stuff and experiences and travel and all of those lovely things. While they're gifts from God and we can enjoy them, that our joy and our focus is not those things. And so that's something that you're going to pray for. Just like, I don't know about you, but I am a mom of four and under, and I have to daily ask God to give me patience, to give me love for my children, and to give me the ability to mother them. And in the same way, I have to ask Him for a heart of contentment. It is not going to come easily to my flesh to not be envious and to not want what other people have and to not, just be ungrateful. That's my flesh, right? But I can pray that the Holy Spirit would be at work in my heart, changing that and crucifying my flesh daily, saying it's not about what I want, it's not about what I see, it's not about what's pretty, it's not about what's new, God. Help my heart to be pointed towards you. And I am in no way an expert. Like, I am not perfect. Nobody here on earth is perfect. So this is not... Cultivating a heart of contentment is not a one-time thing that, okay, now I'm content and so I'm good, check mark that, I have, got that down. I think contentment, just like patience or anything else, any fruit of the Spirit, it's going to be an ongoing thing as we pursue Christ. Hopefully we're becoming more like Christ, and so we will, continually get closer to having that heart of contentment. But I think it is a daily struggle and a daily battle. So definitely be praying for a heart of contentment. And right along that, I think being in the Word. So renewing our mind in the Word. And when you read the Bible, it just refocuses you if you're a Christian, right? It helps you to remember what is important and what is forever. And that is the eternity of those around us, our own eternity. And so if we're focused on the salvation of the ones we love, if we're focused on growing in our relationship with Christ, you're going to have less space for all of that other stuff. So those are the two things. Now, I know, again, like I said, everybody that watches my channel is not a Christian, and welcome. You don't have to be a Christian. I hope you enjoy this anyways, and I love you. But those are my first two if you are a believer. Now, just for some more like practical day-to-day tips, I think on cultivating a heart of contentment, is you need to know more about your life than you do everybody else's. And so with social media, we see inside everybody's house that we wouldn't normally see inside their house. We see everybody's wardrobe and their outfits of the day, and anytime they get something new, we find out about it because there's hauls and people want to showcase stuff, and none of that is bad, and I enjoy some of that because it's nice to see pretty things, right? And it's nice to see neighborhoods that I may never live in, what those houses are like. But if you know more about their life than you do yours, you're not going to be content. If your focus is someone else's life, is someone else's house, is someone else's wardrobe, is the size of somebody else's body, or the way God made somebody else's teeth, or the way their hair grows, or their hair color, or whatever else it is, you're not going to be able to be content in your own life because your focus is there. I mean, there's this saying like, water your own grass, and grass is green, it's where it's watered. And so I would really challenge you that if you're feeling like when you're not content, it's because you're seeing somebody else's stuff, then stop seeing somebody else's stuff for a while. You can unfollow or hide people on Facebook, I think, or whatever, not watch videos, and still love those people and be cheering them on. But if that's a struggle for you in your own heart, feel free to swipe away, like move on. Maybe don't watch their unboxing of their, Stitch Fix or whatever, if that's going to cause you to have a struggle in that area. But at the same time, I would say, don't struggle with contentment because you find yourself a victim. So one of the things people tend to do when they see, and I've done this too, and they see something somebody else has, is rather than think, okay, you know what, I would really love to take my family on a Disney cruise like that family did. They think, I'll never get to do that. I wish I was them. I wish my husband liked to travel. I wish we had the money. I wish. And then they become ungrateful for what they already do have, right? But if you see that another family goes on a Disney cruise, I'm using that because I would love to do that, never done that, then maybe you need to make that a family goal. Maybe you need to say, you know what, maybe there's some things we could change, so in 3 years we could do that. And yes, maybe we can't today and they can, but that doesn't mean you can't ever do that. Or maybe that mom got her body back after 6 weeks of having a baby, and it's going to take you 6 years. But that doesn't mean you can't do it. So it's okay to see what other people have and be inspired by them and put, hey, you know what, it's a goal of mine to do that or to have that or whatever it is. Don't fall victim to because they have it and you don't get it instantly that they have it, that you can't ever have it. There are things that you can certainly have that other people have if you work for them. Okay, so I had to stop to go get an angel food cake out of the oven for Easter tomorrow. So my kids are not here. You'd think this was the one time that I would make a video and it would not be interrupted, but I'm baking an angel food cake, so got interrupted, but didn't burn it, so that's good news. So the second part of her question, because I could ramble on forever, like I've said, is how do you see lovely things, places, things other people do, and not think I want that? I kind of answered this in the first part that you can want that, and then I think that you can find your joy in the Lord and be happy in your circumstances and still have goals to do other things that you see that you're inspired by that other people are doing. And I also mentioned that I don't think you need to make sure that you're not, obsessed with somebody else's life. But also, one of the things that I do that helps me be content in my life, because there's seasons of life, right? There's seasons where you get to travel a lot and you get to do things. There's seasons when you fit in your jeans, and there's seasons when you are pregnant and you feel like you're never going to fit into those jeans again, is to embrace where you've been. So sometimes you find yourself and you have all of these small children and you feel very contained to the house, and that you see somebody else that's traveling and maybe they only have one kid or they don't have any kids yet. Remember, you had your seasons too. One of the things that I love to do is I love to look at photos. I love the Time Hop app that shows you what was going on 3 years ago. I find myself so grateful when I remember, okay, you know what, in this season of life, maybe I'm not doing a few of the things that I used to be able to do that I love to do. But I can be really, really grateful that I had a season where I got to do those things. And you can't ever do everything at once. It is such a lie that we can juggle all the things and do all the things and have all the things at one time. That's just not true. But I can enjoy that there was a time that I got to do that, and now I'm in this season, and I can look forward to the future hoping to do something else in the future while still enjoying where I am. And I think really being grateful for not only what you have right now, but looking back on the last 29 years of my life, what have I got to experience? What have I got to do? Every year on my birthday, I write out what the year has contained. And mostly it's the highs of the year, and I will include a couple things that maybe were hard that year, because real life, nothing's perfect. But I like to look back and think, wow, that's how much happened this year. And sometimes in the day-to-day, we feel like there's not a lot of exciting things happening in our life. Or maybe we don't have all the new things, or we don't have whatever. But I challenge you, just like you would, count your blessings, to count what you've done. Count what you have. Look at your pretty wardrobe instead of always looking at somebody else's. Even if there's only 2 pieces of clothing that you love, wear those 2 pieces of clothing and enjoy them. And don't worry that somebody else has 30 pieces of clothing they enjoy. Enjoy what you have. Water your grass. And enjoy what you've had. Look back on, did you have a really beautiful wedding, but it wasn't the Pinterest weddings that are out now? Well, guess what? You still had a really beautiful wedding. Look at those wedding pictures and enjoy that. Don't find your obsession with other people's lives. I think that is just what robs us of our contentment. And know that things are always changing. And I've heard people say, I wish I had my wedding now, because now Pinterest has all these beautiful things that you can do in your weddings. But you know what? When you got married 8 years ago, you had a really beautiful wedding. Things are always going to be changing and evolving. And that doesn't mean that we need to wish away what we had or feel like we need to have something different. Enjoy your life. Stop looking at everybody else's lives, including mine. Even with minimalism, I feel like people are like, oh, I wish I only had so many whatever, you have so few. Stop doing that. Either choose to make that your life, or if that's not where you are right now, make progress day to day and be content and enjoy that journey to getting where it is you want to be, but still knowing that's not where your joy comes from. Your circumstances are never going to be what decide what your joy is. And I said this in an Instagram post recently, and I'm going to finish with this because I've got to go put banana bread in the oven. Is that be very careful who you allow to be an influence in your life when you're striving towards contentment. If you surround yourself with negative people, if you surround yourself with people that want better than they have but aren't going after it but are just complaining, that's going to be what comes out of your mouth. I have said before many times, when you are choosing your mom friends, be careful the kind of mom friends you choose. If you choose the friends that do nothing but complain about their kids the entire play date, you're probably going to find yourself complaining about your kids more than you did before. So you don't have to be best friends with Mary Poppins, but choose wisely who you allow to influence your life. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Easter. I'm going to finish this video before I ramble on even more, and I will talk to you on my next one. Bye.